Estamos continuando com o nosso guia de Sherlock Holmes. Estamos fazendo missões secundárias. A última missão que nós fizemos foi a do garoto que queria ser mágico, que era um garoto rico. E nós encerramos na última parte e estamos com o chapéu dele na cabeça. Agora nós estamos na delegacia de polícia, central de polícia de Codorna, bem dentro da delegacia, para pegar outra missão secundária, que é com essas mulheres aqui, ó. A gente vai simplesmente escutar elas. Então vamos lá. Vamos iniciar. Esse canto de imprensa para baixo. Esposa devastada para baixo. Morto no cofre para cima. Empresa de amor para cima. Para baixo. Vingança para baixo. Alegre inocência. Oh, droga. Alegre inocência era para cima. Vamos de novo. Tô agoniado já. Vamos voltar. O nosso chapéu mágico para nós conseguir resolver todos os casos agora. Para cima. Para baixo. Para baixo. Para cima. Para baixo. Para baixo. Para cima. Beleza. Morto no cofre. Missão secundária. Caixão de ferro. Nós temos alguns troféus para desbloquear nessa missão. Inclusive também temos algumas coisas para que vai também desbloquear outro troféu mais para frente no jogo, beleza? Então prestem muita atenção nessa missão do começo ao fim. O primeiro troféu que a gente pode perder a gente deve botar o uniforme de polícia, porque a gente tem que falar com todo mundo como policial dessa vez. Tá aí, ó, uniforme de policial. E vamos também colocar o cap de polícia, beleza? Eu vou tirar a barba, porque eu não sei se com a barba o troféu desbloqueia. Então eu vou ficar ele normal. Um Sherlock Holmes normalzinho. Outra coisa que nós temos que fazer é fazer um save. Porque vai que o troféu não desbloqueia, né? E a gente esqueceu alguma coisa da roupa. Vou fazer um save aqui embaixo, um novo save. Vamos, deixa eu ver, acho que pra cá. Cadê? Cadê o cara? É aqui, ó. Lembrando que além de usar o uniforme de policial, nós temos que também mentir que nós somos policial. Não podemos desmentir nenhuma vez, beleza? Não é você. Cadê o nosso suspeito? Aqui, ó. Vamos falar com ele?
Excuse me, but are you Mr. Capello? My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm hoping you could spare a moment to talk.
Manners, what a pleasant surprise. Most of your colleagues have lacked even the simplest of common courtesies.
Sou um policial honrado. Mentira, beleza?
You're a suspect, sir, but not yet a criminal. I shan't treat you as such. Your case is refreshingly unusual, and I wish to get to the bottom of it.
Manners and enthusiasm. Huh. May you go far, young man. What can I help you with?
Vamos observar ele. Aparência concentrada. Olhos. Roupas novas elegantes. Novo e na moda. Aqui. Mão machucada. Trauma recente. aliança apertada no dedo. Beleza. Ele é metódico, pessoal. Metódico. Tem que ser tudo correto nesse, nesse caso, beleza? Qualquer informação errada faz a gente perder troféus.
You are surprisingly composed for a man accused of murder. Not so easily shaken, I take it.
Life is full of surprises. You'd be astonished how many deals go sour due to a force majeure. One becomes skilled at adapting. I am confident this will all be set straight. Until then, I will endure.
Much how you endure that injured hand. Those bruises look painful, but you seem barely aware of it. Were you attacked?
Ah, no, a minor accident, nothing more. My heady days as a man out to prove his valor are far behind me. I now know that to succeed in life, one must stay calm and plan ahead. The world will turn your way eventually. And if it does not, then one must persuade it so.
Comece do
Please,
princípio.
tell me how you ended up in this situation.
Well, this morning some clients arrived to finalize their purchase of a Capello modular safe. But when we opened the door, out tumbled a dead man.
And I take it this wasn't normal.
No, I normally keep my corpses in the wardrobe. Please, young man, spare me your wit. The rest of the day was a blur. I recognized the victim, and it seems so did the police. That was enough to make me the main suspect.
Who sent for the authorities?
No one. As it happens, we had a break-in last night. Nothing was stolen, but for insurance purposes, the report had to be made. So, police officers just happened to be on the premises when we discovered the body in the safe.
Você conhecia a vítima?
You say you became the suspect when the police identified the victim. Is there history between you?
Surely you jest. That man and I have never met, and never would, unless he became the first deity in history to use our products.
Some sort of family feud? I'm afraid I'm not familiar.
You must be new to Godona. It's an old tale. Back in Italy, generations ago, the deities tried to ruin our family business. They nearly succeeded. The Capellos rightfully struck back, but there has been bad blood ever since.
And does that blood flow in you too?
I told you, sir, it's an old story, or it was. I fear this horrible event portends worse to come. My wife may be in danger as we speak.
Quem eram os clientes?
You mentioned you were showing your wares to some prospective buyers when the safe was opened. Who were they?
Clerks from the bank. They inspected the safe from top to bottom yesterday. I assumed the sale was just a formality at that point.
And the safe was closed?
It's usually open, but it locks automatically when the door swings closed. That's another marvelous Capello invention.
A coffin that locks itself. Marvelous indeed.
Quando se encontrou com os clientes?
Help me grasp your movements yesterday. What time did you meet the customers from the bank, and did you have any other appointments?
Yesterday, the bank clerks arrived at 10 a.m. Afterwards, I was alone in the office until my wife Augusta came in at 3 p.m. I left for home at 6:30 p.m.
And what about this morning?
Our meeting for the demonstration was set for 9 a.m. I arrived about half an hour prior in order to prepare.
I have one final inquiry. Do you recall the time at which the safe door was closed?
Young man, I may just as well ask you when you closed your cigar case. I have opened our safes a dozen times a day for a dozen years. I do not recall.
Descreva o roubo.
I'd like to inquire about the burglary.
I'm not sure I see the connection. But if you wish to know more, talk to Billy Lloyd, the night watchman. He scared off the thief.
Was it also Billy that discovered the burglar?
No, my wife did. She had stayed late yesterday. Poor Augusta. At least she's safer with the police than at home alone.
Quando se encontrou com os clientes?
Well, Mr. Capello, I think that's all I need from you at present. Where can I find your office?
Here, take my card. Billy should be on site to assist with the investigation. And please, sir, would you check on my wife before you depart?
Thank you. I will endeavor to speak with her before I leave the station.
Please, treat her gently. Women lack our resilience when it comes to ordeals like this. I shall eagerly await your return. After all, there's little else I can do.
Aqui tudo certo. Vamos fixar aqui nosso livro de caso. Caixão de ferro. Pior que eu esqueci qual que era. Acho que é o depoimento dele. Beleza, vamos fixar aqui. Vamos subir essa escada.
Mrs. Capello, please wait in the office. The inspector will be here soon.
Fala com ela.
You must be the inspector.
Would you be Augusta Capello?
Must I really repeat myself to every baby-faced man in uniform that strides in?
Sou novo aqui, beleza? Não fala que não é policial. Sempre vai afirmando que é policial.
Forgive me, I am not the inspector, but I am working on your husband's case.
Then I have nothing to say to you. Come back with the inspector in charge so that we may dispense with the endless repetition.
Vamos observar ela. Olhos vidrados. Usou laudano recentemente. Alfinete de harpa dourada. Um presente de despedida de 1875. Dedo nelar. Sinais de inquietação. Vamos botar que ela está chocada. Beleza, aceita.
Whilst I prefer German composers, the harp solo from Lucia di Lammermoor stands out as one of Donizetti's finest contributions to the form. I'm sure Basilio thought the same.
He did. How? Did he tell you how we met?
Oh, there was no need. It is trivial to observe how much you value your memories of playing harp in the orchestra, and even an amateur Italian harpist would be familiar with Donizetti's finest work.
Yes. Music is a balm in these uncertain times. It is nice to meet another who appreciates it.
Much as I appreciate the truth. Please, Mrs. Capello, let me help you and your husband.
I am not unappreciative, sir. But I'm afraid I presently lack the strength.
Conte-me sobre o
Basilio
roubo.
tells me you were present during the burglary yesterday. What can you tell me about it?
Oh, it gave me such a fright. I fainted, fell to the floor. I wish I could help you, but, I'm just utterly useless. Please, I want to rest before the inspector arrives.
Você conhecia a vítima?
Were you familiar with the deceased man found in the safe?
No, I did not know him, nor can I conceive of how the poor soul ended up there.
E vamos
You've
retornar
had
mais
quite the
tarde
day,
agora.
Mrs. Capello. I shall leave you be. If I have further questions, I may visit again later.
Ok. Tudo certo aqui. Precisamos sair da delegacia. Não tire o seu uniforme ainda. Capital de São Clemente. Acho que é aqui. Prefeitura de Codorna. Não, calma. Acho que é aqui, ó. Vou marcar aqui. Estamos aonde? Estamos pertinho até, né? Então vamos lá de a pé mesmo. Sem viagem rápida. Aqui. Chegamos. Vamos entrar.
Hello there.
Falei com ele também com uniforme de policial. Você é Billy Lloyd?
Ill-fitting pants, wonky nose, and hair that appears to have been cut by your own hand. You must be Billy Lloyd.
Oh, it's you!
I knew you'd come.
You did?
You're Mirko Gallia, the best investigative journalist on Cordona. I'm a fan of your work.
Alas, you're mistaken. The name is Sherlock Holmes, and your employer...
Oh, of course. Discretion. I'm sorry. I doubt the policeman upstairs heard me, though, so your secret is safe with me, Sherlock.
Você viu o ladrão?
Mr. Capello told me you were present during the burglary and scared the criminal off the property.
Hey, you should have seen it. As soon as the burglars saw me, they went white as death. Ran out the back door of the office. I heard a thud and cat shrieks, so I think they went over the railing and into the bushes out back. Clearly, my reputation precedes me. Mr. Capello was so proud.
You're a guard, but you didn't give chase.
Well, by the time I made it outside, they were miles away. So I went back to help Mrs. Capello. That kind of gentlemanly courtesy is why I'm so well regarded round these parts.
Você pode descrever o ladrão?
What did the thief look like?
Shorter than me, mid-20s, a huge scar across the right cheek going from the eye. Short hair. She didn't look like a ghost. Too corporeal.
Hold on. She? You didn't think to mention the burglar was a woman?
Why did you assume it was a man? It's the 19th century, sir. Ambitious young women are out there pursuing a career, and I, for one, encourage it.
Yes, spare me the sermon.
Quando isso aconteceu?
When did the burglary happen?
Oh, after 10 in the evening. I was just talking to Mrs. Capello.
Does she normally work this late?
No, it's the first time it happened. Usually I'm alone at night. I was explaining to Mrs. Capello how drinking water every 3 hours can help with digestion, when she excused herself and went back upstairs. Then there was a scream, and I ran up to the office, and...
I know what happened next, thank you. What about last evening? Do you have any more details about the break-in?
Of course. I write down everything that happens during my watch. Take a look.
Fastidious in its mundanity, but I will make of it what I can.
Precisa ver
I
o
must go and
escritório.
inspect the crime scene. If I have further questions, Mr. Lloyd, I will find you.
Oh, don't worry. I won't be able to keep away.
Right.
Vamos aqui, começa por aqui, ó.
The best on the market. You can wallop them, you can burn them. Nothing will work.
I bet he tested that himself.
Agora aqui.
Oh,
E por último aqui no cantinho.
Strength, security, peace of mind. Tacky.
well, you know, that's your opinion, good sir.
Vamos subir agora. Vamos examinar o corpo.
Bruises, torn nails, bleeding was severe and continued at length. Bulging veins, cyanosis, bloodshot eyes, odd foaming in the mouth. Blood on the safe door could have been left by the victim.
Cadê o resto?
Clothes are not fully buttoned. Was the victim dressing or undressing?
Só por isso eu já tinha matado a charada a primeira vez. Mas claro que não vou dar spoiler pra vocês do que aconteceu. Mas era uma ótima pista.
Clear indications of blunt trauma, possibly inflicted before the victim was in the safe. What a rotten way to die.
Yeah, what a shame.
Vamos aqui. Lado errado. Aqui.
The bottle is half empty.
Mais uma pista bem importante.
A wine, well enjoyed.
Aqui, ó. Bem embaixo.
Recently used,
Bem
but
escondida.
why would it be here?
Exatamente. Outra pista. Oh, bem importantíssima. Vamos falar com o repórter. Com
Oh, why do I get
Ele.
the worst jobs?
Ótimo. Vem falar com o Billy. Acho que não, acho que ainda não. Vamos sair. Vamos sair para não
That's
estragar
about
aqui
all
o
of you I
caso.
can take.
Vamos entrar aqui. Pegar o resto das pistas primeiro. Vira.
A concert program from 7 years ago. An Augusta La Duca is listed as a harpist in the orchestra. Two theatre tickets for Shakespeare's Othello. The performance is tomorrow.
Have to respect the classics.
Cadê você? Era pra estar aqui perto também. Acho que aqui. Ali, ó. Bilhete de Basília para Augusta. Basília para Augusta. Augusta. Herdeira da família Dete retorna. Molho de chaves. Pegamos. Carta do advogado também pegamos. E o diário de Basílio Copelo.
Mr. Capello is the best.
Okay.
Vamos fazer uma análise química aqui. Aqui, ó. Análise química. Aperta L3 para nós pular. Fizemos.
This chap is seriously creepy.
Agora vamos falar com o Lloyd. Cadê ele? Sumiu. Tá aqui. Oferecer evidências. Oferecer tudo pra
Do
ele.
you know anything else about the dead body in the safe?
Well, there is the rule of threes. You can survive 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, 3 hours in harsh weather, and 3 minutes
Of you talking?
without air. I'm sorry, did you say something?
No, very enlightening, Mr. Lloyd, thank you. Do you know anything about these entries?
No. But Mr. Capello is so well organized. I use a different method. Very popular among the Buddhist monks. You create an attic in your mind and...
I'm familiar. Keep it tidy, put only necessary information in, remove unnecessary information regularly.
What? No, it's called an attic. You just stuff it with everything. You never know what might prove helpful someday.
That is profoundly upsetting.
Vamos continuando.
I don't know.
Do you know whose keys these are?
Probably Mr. Capello's. Police took him so suddenly. I have the same set, but it's more efficient. Has fewer keys.
So you don't have access to the entire office?
No. Only Mr. and Mrs. Capello have the key to the back door.
Do you know what this note might be about?
I cannot presume to know another's mind, of course, but I think Mr. and Mrs. Capello have been having some familial difficulties, probably due to their lack of children. One of my oldest friends helps couples with their relationship troubles, and he always says...
You don't have to continue.
Oh, well, he says that to me as well, but I'm perfectly happy to.
No, I insist.
Oh, actually...
Vai mostrando tudo.
Is this code memo still valid?
Oh, yes, it's the same combination code everywhere. It corresponds to Mrs. Capello's birthday, actually. In fact, during this year's celebration, I was allowed a sip of champagne. That's when I had to dry my trousers, and then I had to...
Okay, thank you, Billy.
I don't know.
Have you noticed anything different about Mrs. Capello recently?
Not really. She talks to me more when I start my shift. Probably because of the 100 Best Curry Recipes book I'm reading. Oh, and we've been running out of paper a lot lately, so she often sends me out to buy more for her. She's very particular about the paper we use. Only one store on the island stocks it, and it's on the other side of the town. But I'm really fast.
Interesting, thank you.
Continua.
I know of it.
Até acabar as
But
evidências.
forgot. I don't know.
What can you tell me about Mr. Capello?
He's a good employer, but very focused on work, and very serious about security, of course, since he employed a night watch of my caliber. Not everyone appreciates his strict business approach, though. Store clerks don't seem to last long in the office.
Good to know.
Ok, tudo certinho, tudo mostrado. Vamos saindo. Nós precisamos do livro de casos. Vamos fixar o roubo. Cadê? Roubo aqui. Fixa com quadrado. E bora lá. Teve um gatinho aqui, ó. Bonitinho. 2 gatinhos. Outro gatinho. Na verdade é sempre o mesmo, né? Mas tudo bem. Corrimão, ligeiramente torto. Descendo. Vidro quebrado.
The letter F is inscribed within a 4-leaf clover pattern. A comprehensive set of lockpicks, recently cleaned with no fresh scratches. Passe muraille. Walk through walls in French. Our thief seems rather arrogant.
Todas as evidências coletadas. Isso é tudo que a gente pode fazer aqui, beleza? Então vamos lá de volta para a delegacia de polícia. Aqui. Vamos entrar aqui. Fixa de novo, roubo de Amor Capuelo. Vamos para os arquivos aqui. Vamos lá. Vamos começar com crimes de propriedade. Vamos para evidências. Deixa eu ver o que era. Instrumentos de crime, ok. E nos distritos de Grande Sarai. Aperta o triângulo. Conseguimos. Perfil de Felícia Sevigny. Ok.
Maybe it would be wise to take a look around outside before we enter. Just a thought.
Não fica parado na parede. Vamos lá. Vamos lá então. Em Minor Ends. Acho que mais ou menos aqui mesmo. Onde eu estou. Vamos marcar. Qual é a viagem rápida mais perto que nós temos? Eu marquei. Marquei, tá lá. Essa é a mais perto, então vamos lá. Por escaládio. Vamos atravessar a ponte. Uma coisa muito importante, não entra no esconderijo. Não antes de desbloquear o troféu que nós vamos desbloquear, beleza?
Other gangs are planning.
Acho que é aqui. Deixa eu ver. Ou é aqui com esses dois aqui?
Other gangs are planning an attack on the backyard, boys. The Parte.
Calma aí.
Other gangs are planning an attack.
Primeiro vamos achar a entrada. Depois a gente vê com quem a gente tem que escutar. Vendedor de roupa. Jornaleiro. Dá pra ser bem por aqui, mas tá difícil. Mas eu acho que é na rua de lá. Não, tá aqui, ó. É ali mesmo. Já tá até marcado. Vamos voltar lá.
Elephant adopted again. The killer elephant the lion has been adopted.
Nem vi que nós tínhamos achado já.
Other gangs are planning.
Tá, é ali mesmo. Então o cara que nós temos que escutar é na nossa frente para desbloquear o troféu, beleza?
Other gangs
Vamos lá,
are
vamos
planning an
escutar.
attack on the backyard.
Iniciar. Vingança para baixo. Consigo uma arma para baixo. Mercado de mina Endes para cima. Para baixo com eles mereceram. Me deve dinheiro para baixo. Mendigos informantes para cima. Ferido para baixo. Mancando para baixo. Opa, faltou uma. Vamos de novo.
Other gangs are planning an attack on the backyard.
Vamos lá. Vingança para baixo. Mendigos informantes para cima. Me deve dinheiro para baixo. Ferido para baixo. Mercado de mina Endes. Consiga uma arma para baixo. Eles mereceram para baixo. Mancando para cima. Era mancando, beleza. Diminuindo as fileiras. Ok. Conseguimos um novo diário. Deixa eu ver se é essa mesmo. Pipe, tá certo, é essa mesmo. Vamos rastrear esse objetivo. E vamos atrás do pipe. Se eu não me engano, o pipe tá bem por aqui, ó. Nessa ruazinha aqui, ó. Então vamos lá. Não entra no esconderijo ainda. Se vocês querem desbloquear o troféu, não entra no esconderijo.
Buy some clothes and help me feed my family.
The best the flea markets can offer.
Beleza, antes de falar com qualquer um aqui, nós devemos colocar roupa de mendigos. E a gente não pode falhar com esse objetivo. Eu acho que a gente não tem roupa de mendigo, agora que eu lembrei. Vamos mais uma vez, vamos no vendedor de roupa, ainda bem que tem um aqui perto. Vamos lá.
First clothes at the best price.
Opa, aqui.
Step right up.
Vamos lá. Roupas de mercador, boêmio. Cientista maluco, melhor do melhor, armadura, veste reais, terno cinza. Que armadura? Trapos de vagabundo. Começa com esse. Eu vou alugar. Se der. Deu para alugar o trapo de vagabundo, beleza. Vamos para nossa cabeça agora. Para a cabeça a gente vai botar o bandagem para os olhos. Aperta quadrado para alugar. Não deu para alugar, vamos ter que comprar. Infelizmente. Compramos bandagem para os olhos. O acessório é nenhum. Beleza, nenhum acessório. Pode pular. Maquiagem. Nós vamos botar maquiagem olhos preto. Aqui, ó. Esse aqui, ó. Vamos alugar, vamos ver se dá. Não deu, vou ter que comprar também, gastando dinheiro de novo. Ok, olho preto.
Bring it back in one piece, or you'll have to buy it.
Agora nós vamos no nosso guarda-roupa, ainda tem que mudar a barbinha nossa. E na barba nós temos que botar barba por fazer. Aqui, ó, barba por fazer. Selecionamos. Ok.
Buy some clothes and help me feed my family.
Tá aí nós. Vamos falar com o Pipe.
Despite being used, these goods are still fine. Take a look. Maybe something will catch your eye.
Eu não quero
Go
comprar nada
away
de
if you
ti.
don't want to
Eu
buy.
tô procurando o
The
Pipe.
worst
Acho.
clothes
Can I ask
at
you a
the best
question?
price.
I would like to help a companion in misfortune, but I know nothing
Despite
about
being
this.
used, these goods are still fine. Take a look.
Não, não, eu sei quem é o Pipe. Ele tá, geralmente tá andando por aqui. Ele não vai estar sempre no mesmo lugar, porque ele fica andando também.
Buy some clothes and help me feed my family.
Despite being used,
Acho que ele tá
these
aqui, ó.
goods are still
Fala com
fine.
ele. Beleza. Falando com ele, você vai botar aqui, tem informações.
Hello, mister. I've got some information for you. Heard you were asking.
Have you now? Well, let's hear it.
Não houve ataque fácil, beleza? Não houve ataque fácil. É importantíssimo que você bote essa opção.
So the bandits, right? Not coming. Bigger fish to fry, they say. Bigger worries.
Interesting. Are you absolutely sure?
Heard it with my own ears. Lord is my witness.
Oh, good. Here you go. Buy yourself something nice. Might I suggest soap?
Oh, thank you, mister. Thank you. What a simpleton.
Beleza, conseguimos o troféu Amigos nas Ruas. Fale com o Pipe com o disfarce correto. Bem, vamos
Buy some clothes and help me feed my family.
continuar o nosso caso, então. Não se esqueça de reequipar a sua roupa de polícia para o outro troféu que nós não pegamos ainda. Uniforme policial. Capacete de policial, capacete, o cap, né? Vou botar ele novamente, com a barbinha normal. Tira a barba. Tira a maquiagem também. Os ternos de John. John ucraniano, John marinheiro. Então temos um John gangster agora. Não tinha visto o John gangster ainda. Vou equipar essa nele. Gosto. Vou deixar o John gangster. Agora nós vamos rastrear outro objetivo. Que é o perfil de Felícia Sevigny. Vamos lá, marca essa evidência de novo. E vamos derrotar os bandidos. Não importa se a gente vai matar ou vai prender eles, a gente vai lá derrotar os bandidos, beleza? Lembre-se de pegar o troféu antes, senão você não vai conseguir aquele troféu. Vamos entrar. Ótimo.
I couldn't miss the party.
Toma.
Don't cry, you'll live.
I will end you. That easy.
I thought we were against murder.
Eat lead.
Eita.
Time to knock this guy out. Hey, you could have kept him alive.
Podia, mas eu não quis pegar ele vivo.
Excuse me.
Toma! Essa do tiro no pé é muito boa.
No, you killed it.
Bora!
Don't cry. Give him the pepper snuff. Weaken him first.
Fui jogar o pó.
I couldn't miss the party.
Ah, ele tá com as coisas no rosto. Eu não vi.
He's all yours now.
Nossa, deu um belo tiro de escopeta, hein?
I'm coming for you.
No more crime for you until next month.
Toma!
Too simple.
The snuff's ready.
Not that easy.
Ah! Esqueci das coisas dele de novo. Joelho. Nossa! Se afasta que nós estamos levando chumbo.
We can overcome the brute now. I thought we were against murder.
Toma.
Okay, I give up.
Não se esqueça de continuar com seu uniforme de polícia para interrogar ela.
And here we are, Miss Sevigny. A place where we can talk about all your recent activities. We have a nice profile on you, you know.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything.
Is there nothing you didn't do, Miss Sevigny? Thieve for the gang, break into the Armor Capello office, kill Niccolo Detti?
What? Kill? I didn't kill nobody. No, How?
So you admit the rest. I suppose you won't mind explaining some things to me then.
Vamos observar ela. Medalhão estranho, lockpick escondido no interior. Calça rasgada, garras de gatos na perna, provando que foi ela que pulou lá. Roupa chique, casaco dupla face. Vamos dizer que ela é preparada.
You were in the Armor Capello office yesterday evening, Miss Sevigny. The same place that Niccolo Detti was found dead today. What happened?
How would you know? You can't prove anything?
It's written all over you, Miss Sevigny. I presume you did not intend your evening to end with a fall over the railing and a fracas with felines. Need I continue?
Zut alors! It was just a job, nothing else. I was asked to come. Here, see for yourself. I don't know who hired me, but I think they wanted to pin the crime on me. Poor Niccolo.
Você conhecia a vítima?
You knew Mr. Detti, how?
Niccolo and I grew up together. I hadn't seen him in years, then ran into him on the street, smiling with some lovely lady on his arm.
Você ouviu de novo?
And that was the last time you saw him alive?
Well, until I found him dead yesterday. That same woman was there, too. It can't be coincidence.
You saw a woman in the office?
Mm-hmm. She started screaming, so I slammed the safe door and ran when I saw a guard coming.
When were you offered this job?
Ah, mon Dieu. I don't remember precisely. I think the letter arrived around 9:30 in the evening. It sounded tricky, but the money was good.
And you arrived at the office?
Perhaps 45 minutes later. I am very good, sir. I was in and out in 5 minutes.
I don't like lies.
No, wait. Okay. It took 15 minutes. All right? Still impressive, no?
Sua sorte acabou.
Thieving days may well be over, Miss Sevigny. Until this matter is resolved, you will remain here. Good day.
Beleza.
What a long day.
Opa, pra cá. Vamos aqui, entra aqui de novo. Faça um save. Você errar alguma coisa, você já fica seguro. Vamos lá, como você conheceu o Nico, tem que ser nessas ordens que eu vou escolher, beleza? Você não pode inverter nenhuma ordem de nenhuma pergunta que eu vou fazer aqui agora. Como você conheceu o Nicolo?
What exactly was your relationship with Niccolo Detti?
Who? What are you talking about?
Madam, please, a young woman dedicated to her music and an enthusiastic artist, your marriage to Basilio could not have offered all you needed. And then about 6 months ago, you met Niccolo Detti. There was a spark, you started to see each other. It brought passion back into your life.
How could you?
But your tryst didn't go unnoticed. Felicia Sevigny spotted you with Niccolo, but rather than cease your affair, you took care to avoid the public eye. You started working with your husband at the office and met your lover there in the evening after Basilio departed. Billy would not notice, and you hoped neither would your husband.
Estou certo?
Do I have this right so far?
Yes. I love Basilio, I truly do. But his first passion is his work. I respect that, but it left me adrift. Niccolo. Oh, sweet Niccolo. He was the man I needed. If he had had any other name, I would have talked to Basilio. But he was a Detti.
And your husband suspected something.
I think he did. He asked questions. Billy's schedule was moved forwards. Yes, he suspected.
Como Nicolo morreu?
And thus we arrive at the heart of the matter. How did Mr. Detti end up deceased in the safe?
I do not know.
Madam?
I don't know anything about his death.
Are you sure this is how you wish to proceed?
It is the truth. Please, just leave me be.
Nessa agora você deve desbloquear o troféu Leal e Neutro por ter interrogado todos os suspeitos com arrobas policiais no caso inteiro, beleza? Nessa hora que desbloqueou o troféu, desbloqueou agora pra mim também. Então deve ter desbloqueado pra vocês se vocês seguiram corretamente essa missão inteira. Agora nós temos que falar com ela novamente. E nós vamos a acusar. Mais uma vez, vocês têm que escolher as mesmas respostas que eu, beleza?
It is a shame it has come to this, but it is patently obvious that you are responsible for Niccolo Detti's death.
How dare you? I wouldn't want him to.
I see you need some persuasion. I know that Niccolo Detti went to the office to meet you.
Vamos lá. Mais uma vez a gente tem que escolher as evidências corretas para troféus, beleza? Então vamos começando aqui. Vamos com calma, olhando uma por uma. Cadê vocês? Tá. Essa aqui, questões de negócios, é a primeira?
It was a midnight tryst. Niccolo would visit the office once Basilio left, but this time he returned. So you hid Niccolo in the safe. A foolish move.
I didn't know the code had changed. It was the only choice. I couldn't let him be found. I loved him.
Really? You could have saved his life by simply speaking with your husband, but you sought to free him another way.
Beleza, próxima é... Cadê? Carta para Felícia. Vamos lá.
To free Mr. Detti, you hired Felicia Sevigny, a petty burglar, to crack the safe. And as a result, you killed your lover.
No. It's because the combination had changed. It is not my fault.
You are splitting hairs, Mrs. Capello. The fact remains you chose to risk Niccolo's life rather than call your husband. And I know why.
Vamos lá. Tem mais uma. Devagar. Carta do advogado. Bora lá.
You were afraid how it would affect the reputation of the Capellos, and you feared what your husband would do as a consequence.
He's a good man, but he cares about his business, about the family. It would have destroyed him.
And now he's accused of murder, Mrs. Capello. How considerate of you.
Mio Dio, how did this all happen?
Você é culpada.
Despite your best intentions, Mrs. Capello, I believe you are to blame for this sorry affair, not Basilio.
I think you're right, sir. Basilio, he does not deserve this. None of this.
It is not my place to decide what is deserved, but perhaps you now know what to say to the inspector.
I do.
Good day, madam.
I don't think Mrs. Capello did this on purpose. I would have let her go.
Caixão de ferro, caso completado. Ok. Vamos fazer a última missão das 3 missões para o troféu de acertar todas as evidências. Essa foi a segunda. Você está seguindo o guia. Também foi a sua segunda. Vamos saindo. Nós vamos pro edifício. Aqui. Crodona Chronicles. Bora lá. Deixa eu ver cadê os caras aqui.
Killed with one perfect shot to each eye. Can you imagine?
Ali, ó. Esses dois aqui que nós temos que escutar, beleza? Vamos lá. Pra baixo. Guerra de gangues pra cima, não. Cegado pra cima é. Disputa de pessoas ricas pra cima, não. Nossa, enviar mensagem pra cima. Nossa, eu não... errei tudo ali. É ruína zero. Nossa, vamos... Comecei errando ali, fiquei nervoso e errei tudo, beleza? Mas tudo bem, vamos de novo. Iniciar. Ficar em casa pra baixo. Em ruínas antigas pra cima. Pra baixo. Guerra de gangue pra baixo. Golpes preciso pra cima. Pra baixo. Cegado é pra cima. Beleza. Olhos bem abertos. Surpreendido. Novo caso. Vamos fixar aqui então. Opa. Surpreendido. Fixa olhos bem abertos. Quadrado. Temos que sair para viagem rápida. Temos que vir para essas ruínas aqui, ó. Vamos lá. Vamos trocar de roupa aqui por enquanto. Terno de Sherlock. Bonito, hein? Traje de viúva. Traje de viúva tem até com brinquinho. Muito bom. Terno preto de luxo. Por que eu tô trocando de roupa? Não tem motivo nenhum, pessoal, para troféu. É só porque pra gente ficar bonito na foto do troféu. Só isso. Pode deixar assim. Tá bom, vamos lá. Bonitão.
Good day, sir.
Merhaba. Good day to be alive.
And, by extension, a poor day to take a bullet.
O que houve aqui?
Do you know what happened here?
Officer said there was a duel, shots fired, and then that fellow took his last breath. Reminds me of last year.
So the inspectors have been and gone?
Of course. Police don't let an undertaker do his work before they finish theirs.
O que está fazendo aqui?
Why are you just standing there?
I came to take the deceased to the cemetery, but caught sight of Mother Nature's bounty and had to drink my fill. He won't mind anyway. Let me tell you, friend, the sweet sea air, the calming whisper of the waves, it's a salve for all ills.
O que aconteceu no
You
passado?
mentioned a previous incident.
It was in the old city ruins. I remember the deceased was very rich. Front page news, very, very rich he was. But a coin makes a poor shield, as I always say. And who needs it when a view like this is free?
Você sabe quem foi
Who
morto?
died?
Oh, no, mister. It is not my place to say.
Not your place. Nonsense. As you say, he won't mind.
Death with dignity, that's all we can hope for, sir. He doesn't need his name out there.
E vamos sair.
We're done.
Vamos avançar aqui.
This man is no more. He's ceased to be. He's expired and gone to meet his maker. He's a stiff. Bereft of life, he rests in peace. You know the rest.
Vamos investigar o corpo.
The bullet entered the heart at an angle, implying it was fired from an elevated position. He died instantly. A key for a birdcage? I'll take it. Predictably, the rumors were exaggerated. The blindfold is intact, with both eyes unharmed.
Pegue a
And
arma.
cartridges filled with a wax-covered gelatin bullet. Effectively harmless, even at close range, but leaves a nice red splash on impact.
Cadê a outra? Cadê?
Away.
Achamos. Os 4. Vamos pro 2. Já começa com essa aqui com R1.
Your opponent was behind you. A blindfold, discarded or lost. The duelist eventually reloaded his gun, but all the cartridges were filled with red non-lethal rounds.
Ok.
You know what? That undertaker has a point. It is beautiful here.
Vamos aqui também.
Blank cartridges filled with red wax-covered gelatin bullets. Most assuredly non-lethal, if rather theatrical on impact. A case for dueling Webley revolvers. Blank cartridges filled with...
Pode largar. Pega aqui. Viramentos de duelo. Pega isso aqui também. Regras
Gosh,
do
how
clube.
exciting. I always wanted to be a member of a club. I bet you couldn't join. No good at following orders, are you, Sherry?
Ah, the contest then. I shall prove my blind devotion, so to speak, to their inane rules, and you shall eat your words.
Por último, esse terno amarelo aqui. Vamos dar roupas de duelistas que nós acabamos de conseguir. E por enquanto a gente vai encerrar essa parte por aqui, pessoal. Não se esqueça de deixar o seu like. Se inscreva aí se você não for inscrito. E até a nossa próxima parte, onde a gente vai continuar aqui. Tchau!